Good morning, everybody. Pastor Greg here from First Christian Church. I thought this year, because it's so busy and all the meetings that we're having and all, that it might just be easier to do a little training video reminder for the children's moment. And so I ask that you bear with me. Many of you have been doing it for years, and you know all that needs to be done. But it's always good to refresh our memories on things. The children's moment, or the children's sermon, as some places call it, it's just a brief time in our worship service. It's directed developmentally towards our children to explain or to teach some biblical truth to children. And it can be, based on something that's going on around us that has a biblical truth, or something that's being taught in Sunday school or VBS or something like that, or just any object lessons are really good as long as you keep to one single point. It's a time to focus where the emphasis is on the children, not the adults. Although the adults will be hanging on every word you say, it's really for the children. It's a time of training, and suggestions will be more along the lines of techniques, or how to ask open-ended questions with them, as opposed to just yes or no answers. And also learning yourself to feel comfortable in front of a group, in front of them. And so all of this comes with time and experience. And so some of you who have just started doing this maybe haven't had too many rotations. We do have a rotational deal that I'll be sending out with this that lets you know where you are. If you can't work that Sunday, or you can't do it that Sunday, feel free to get somebody else on the list to do it. And anyway, be prepared beforehand. These are just some suggestions. Be prepared beforehand. The kids are a lot smarter than you think. They can sense fear, so to speak, and they can sense when you haven't prepared. So and be flexible with your time, your plan and all. Expect some interchange from them. Just make sure it doesn't get derailed too much. Sometimes a kid will make a comment and my problem is I'm so ADD, and they'll make a comment and I'll laugh about it and all, and then I have to gather that attention back. Plan for a 3 to 5 minute presentation. And remember that the average attention span is probably of children, especially the ones that will be at our children's moment, is a lot less than that, probably 2 minutes. Some presentation hints: be authentic. If you don't really like kids and all, maybe this isn't the ministry area you need to work in. And so feel free, if you've decided all of a sudden that this isn't your bag, to let me know, and we will be glad to take you off that list and open up others' opportunity to do that. Be careful that you treat each child the same. Okay, don't show favoritism and all. Make sure you welcome them. Make sure you do something to get their attention. Make sure you tell them how great they are. Be positive, how awesome they are. We should never. It's not a time of us to discipline and show the world that we can make kids behave. That's not the object of our children's moment. Direct your speech and attention towards them. Make eye contact with them. Okay, they're the audience, not the adults. Make eye contact. If you know them, get them to know them so that you can call them by name. That makes them feel important, and an important part of our church. Know the ages of the children, if you can, and some of that, if you're like me, it's hard to keep all those facts in your head and all, but you generally can do that. Practice holding the mic. If you're holding it, if you're going to be holding it, or if it's going to be on a deal now, hopefully when we get the new sound system, we'll have much better mics and we won't have to pay so close attention to having them where they can be picked up. Why is that important? If the kids can hear us, if you just said, Pastor, that they were our audience, not the adults. Well, the adults, like I said, hang on your every word, and sometimes a child's lesson applies to an adult too. Okay. But the main reason we have the emphasis on the mic is for those that are watching on our streaming to Facebook and to YouTube, because without that mic, they don't pick up anything, and they're not, they don't hear the room noise. They can't hear you. You might be able to say, well, I don't need a mic. I can speak loud enough. Well, those that are joining us on the stream will not do that, and they'll get frustrated and they'll stop watching. And that's not what we want to do. But that may mean you need to pronounce and pick up the voice level a little better. You know what I mean? And don't just speak your normal, quiet, soft, and expect the mic to compensate. You need to use the voice that God gave you and project. So children love to hear stories or to read or look at pictures. So if you can, if your lesson, your little moment is in a story or maybe a little picture book that you can show them. Don't make it too long, you know what I mean? And don't read a novel to them, but a little picture book or something like, or holding a picture that goes along with, I remember as a kid, the teaching pictures they used to give in Sunday school and all. I love those pictures. So any of that kind of stuff will help them hone in and help retain their attention and remember what you're trying to tell them. Pray beforehand and pray during, that God will guide your words so that you can touch the children's heart. And more than likely, they're going to touch your heart more than anything else. So anyway, I'm going to email this out to everybody. Please, like I said, once again, make sure that you don't get carried away too much with the time. You take the time limit, then Pastor Greg has to cut his sermon short, which, we don't want to do that, right? Yeah, I'm teasing with you. Or either that or he goes long and you miss part of the Cowboy game, and we definitely don't want to do that. So anyway, some resources, do research on the web. There's sermonsforkids.com, ministrytochildren.com. YouTube has a ton of children's sermons where various children's ministers have presented it. And so feel free to look and get creative and get some ideas from them. Don't copy them exactly. That's not right. We don't do that. But the sincerest form of appreciation in the Christian ministry is for somebody to copy an idea. Okay, so if it's an object, and a lot of them on YouTube are being offered for you to use with your church and all that. So just do a little bit of research. Don't feel frustrated, and don't panic, and get comfortable with the kids and just enjoy it and enjoy your ministry. But the children's moment doesn't just happen in that part of the service and all. You get to know the kids. They're going to see they're going to see you around the church and all. And if you don't give them the time of day around the church, but then you do the children's sermon, that doesn't quite line up. But if you interact with them at the children's sermon and then interact with them in the hall and that kind of stuff, we will be doing our duty as good stewards of the children that God has given us, and we will be training them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. So with that said, take a look at your schedule, mark your calendars, and get ready for your next children's sermon. You are going to be awesome. Love you.